Hi, everybody. My name is Miles Wallace, and I'm with Peak Performers. We're a nonprofit staffing and recruiting agency that helps professionals with disabilities find jobs and advance their careers. I'm here today to tell you our top tips for having your next phone interview. So, the challenge that many of us face is that we are at home and comfortable in our own environment when we take that phone interview, but really, that's not a time to let your guard down. The first tip that I'd like to recommend to you is make sure that you dress up for your phone interview. What's the purpose of that? Well, first off, you typically gain more confidence in the interview if you are dressed to succeed. Additionally, you might be called at the last minute to do a video interview instead, so just make sure that it's not a scramble. The next recommendation that I'd give to you is make sure that you know a spot in your house or somewhere out in your community where you can get a good reception for the call. I can't tell you how often that we take phone interviews with people that either end prematurely because the call completely drops, or it's just spotty and kind of difficult to hear them. And if you do worry that you're going to have a bad reception, make sure to ask for a callback number from the recruiter or hiring manager that you're talking to. It's also really important when you're doing this phone interviews to minimize the distractions that are around you. I know it can be really tempting to just, hey, I'm going to go out to the grocery store and take this phone interview, it'll be no big deal, or go out to my coffee shop, or have your dog be barking in the background because you're so used to hearing it. But really, any of these auditory distractions are going to pull them away from you. The next tip is make sure that you speak up. Many of you, when you do your phone interview, are probably going to be using some Bluetooth device, and you are a lot quieter than you realize on the phone. I can guarantee it. Additionally, a lot of times the Bluetooth devices may not pick up your voice as well as you think they're doing. So make sure that you speak up and enunciate really well. The fifth tip that I would have is make sure that you sit up and that you smile. Now, I know that this sounds counterintuitive because they can't see you or what you're doing, but this again will give you that boost of confidence. Additionally, when you do sit up and when you do smile, you naturally project your voice a little bit further, and there's a natural uptick to your voice as well that sounds more dynamic and more interesting when somebody is talking to you. The final tip that I would recommend is figure out how you can still get in front of the recruiter or hiring manager. You know, the challenging bit for all of this is that if, as a recruiter, I'm taking multiple phone interviews in a day, it can be really difficult for me to remember who is who. Really, what you can do to help differentiate yourself and stand out from the crowd is send them your LinkedIn profile and send them your resume right before your interview time, and then make sure that you send a thank you note afterwards. Make it so as much as possible they are able to put a face or at least a resume to the name, and they can better remember you. I hope that all these tips have been helpful for your next phone interview. By the way, Peak Performance is very actively recruiting and will probably interview you first over the phone. So we look forward to chatting with you. You can check out all of our jobs at peakperformers.org. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.